everybody, welcome to the Soulful Soul. So I did this reading on the 19th of Feb, when we moved into the Chinese New Year, the year of the fire horse. I was born in the year of the fire horse, by the way, so I'm very excited about that. But the idea was to look at your themes for the year ahead, or for the next couple of weeks, however it feels right for you, right? And then I thought that it was too late I didn't get a chance to upload and edit and upload, and then I thought it was too late. But then I was just thinking about it. You can just take these readings for what they are. I thought the messages were beautiful and powerful, and I didn't want to lose that. So you can take it as your themes for the year ahead, which I kept saying anyway in the readings, or you can take it for the next couple of weeks, or for however long it feels appropriate, or it's for the now, essentially. And so you can make your choice from these 3 decks. So group 1 is the Angel Wisdom Tarot, group 2 is the One World Tarot, and group 3 is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. So make your choice and you'll see me in your reading. Group 1, so you have a really lovely card at the center, or one that I associate with, especially in the reverse, is choosing yourself. I think there's a situation where you are needing to think about very strongly what it is that you want from a friendship, from a situation. What is it that you want? And I think that what gets in your way is your busy mind, is that you don't give yourself time to keep still. And you can do simple things to help you keep still. So this person is in meditation, and a really simple meditation, and I say this over and over, and I think I've got one, or I've uploaded one, but it was for a group that I worked with, and I didn't want to put it up without a bit of background or disclaimer, so I must organize that. And it has this meditation where you just get in touch with your senses, and that's it. That's a simple thing that you can commit to doing. Takes 5 minutes. It can take 5 minutes of your time, 10 minutes, whatever, however much you have. So that's the thing that you need to harness, is your busy mind. Find a way of just stilling it. And here, but what's working for you, you have the 9 of Swords. Maybe you are finding a way of overcoming your fears, getting in touch with that helps you overcome these like mind thoughts, mind traps. Maybe you worry about what other people think. Maybe you worry about how will it look. Whatever the case might be, you are being guided to throw that away. For this situation, there are situations where we live with other people, and other people might be important to us. Certain people are important to us, so we can't just we live in that situation with other people. But putting ourselves first can also be thinking about if I do this action, will I hurt myself by messing with the relationship? That also comes into it. Like, we don't just do things. At the end, we have to be happy, and it's senseless shooting ourselves in the foot is what I'm trying to get at in a roundabout way. So there's this sense, but the bottom line is thinking about what you want. Maybe you don't even know what it is you want, and here the Magician showed up, and this stand your ground. So which would suggest to me on firm foundation is it's almost like, which way do I go? It's like not even knowing what it is you want. And knowing helps you get in touch with the actions that you can take towards getting what it is you want. If you don't know, you can't even move that way. Or if there are too many things, which the Seven of Cups can also talk about, and not being clear and not narrowing it down, you can also get in your own way. So there's that. You are showing up as the Queen of Wands, beautiful. Like you have the ability to create something beautiful. And it starts with knowing that. And then around you is this nostalgia or something from the past, almost like something from the past coming back. And maybe it's coming back to give you. So here you are. Maybe you haven't in the past received what you wanted because maybe people had attitudes towards you because of whoever you were, right? Just as people can have attitudes to people who are disabled in some way or have a physical disability, which is just a disability. It's just a different way of showing up. But they had perceptions about you, and that seems to be changing. That's the message I'm getting, is that these perceptions are changing. It's like something's coming back around, and it's so different this time. Oh, and look at that. We have, I didn't even think about this. This is the Judgment card, which is very much about that. It's is about this rebirth, something from the past coming back to have a different chance to maybe create a different outcome. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. And I'm seeing this, like, I'm not too sure what these, this looks like Sweden, I think, one of the Nordic countries, but I'm not too sure what that has. Like, maybe it's meant to mean peace. Oh, it might be, was it Switzerland that was neutral? It might be the Swiss flag. I don't know my flags, obviously. And that looks like the divine feminine, or maybe it's, I don't know. Anyway, but this is talking about, it says here, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness and time to head in a new direction. But that's not what I saw. It's almost like something's coming back for a do-over. And with the Knight of Cups here, it's like opening yourself up to joy and sharing love. And gosh, look at this. There's this cup, and there's the cup there. So it might also be that there might be lots of offers, but one is right, and the others can be friends, or even if it's work, lots of offers coming in that maybe in the past rejected you, and one is right. One is this one. One is the one that's joyful and has potential. The Knight of Cups can be frivolous, but has potential to become the King of Cups, So it's that kind of thing. Okay, let's leave the third eye. Wow, interesting. Because I first drew from my cards and you got the third eye, and then I thought, okay, maybe let me, the devil. Wow, sure. That's so interesting. Beneath the deck you have obstacles and challenges, but this is just competition, or like maybe even staking your claim. That's the way I'm seeing it there. And then here, this is just reinforcing this idea of getting in touch with what it is you want. And the way you do that is through taking time out for this. This third eye, listening to your intuition, it doesn't have to be efforting. Sometimes it just requires us doing something different. It requires the still. That's it. This is the message for you. It requires the stillness. Don't effort. Don't think, oh my goodness, how do I get in touch with my intuition? Take time out for the stillness. Journaling, I always push journaling, that kind of thing. But take time out. Like here, it's pointing out to this time for just going within. And that for me is that simple thing of appreciating your senses. And here you have the Empress here. The message that I'm getting here is stop doing too much. You might be one of those like who has given too much in a certain specific situation, or maybe just generally, and this is your time to give to yourself. It's like, what is it that I want? I think that you know what everyone else around you wants, or at least your loved ones want. But you don't know what you want. And this, think about how thinking about what those around you want can also be a selfish act. You can think about that. And then you have 2 nines here. The solitude, there you go. It's reinforcing that this inner light, this inner wisdom, whatever it is you are needing to unearth, this inner guidance, comes from solitude. It comes from the stillness. It comes from letting go of head games. It's stilling the mind. That's where we allow for the intuition to flow. Like, I'm just looking at the flowers outside. They look like buttercups. They are so beautiful. Like, just looking at a flower, like appreciating a flower, these flowers, whatever. Like how amazing for those of us who have sight. But even if we don't have sight, I believe that those people who have some kind of one of their senses might be weakened, or even they're not able to see physically, they have more of an intuitive sight, do you know, like, and maybe their other senses work better. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And with the Queen of Wands, you have the Devil. So this for me is asking you to think about where it is you hold yourself back, where you might tell yourself stories like, oh, I'm doing it for them, but it's an escape. It's a way of you not looking at what you want, what you need, what your issues are, like focusing externally can be your excuse for not looking internally. Maybe because you're afraid of what you'll see. But our journey starts slowly, But there's some way that you might be telling yourself stories about your value, about your worth, about what's going on around you, about what you need. I don't need anything. I'm okay. Do you know? That kind of thing. And this is saying take your power back. Now the Devil is also very powerful. It's a major arcana. And for me, because I'm a Capricorn, right? And it's showing up in my reading, not my choice, the reading I'm doing, is it can be a powerful indicator of you getting in touch with something within yourself that you've seen as negative, but being brave enough to look at it, because that's where the beauty comes in. That's where the light comes in, where we can look at those things that society says are wrong, that we might say are wrong, and they might even be wrong according to our moral compass. But seeing them, oh, what a joyful journey that can be, because we look at them and we look at them with love and light, and then we can transform them. So something beautiful going on for you, I think. And then this offer coming in, this light, like shining a light on those things that we say are not beautiful, just helps us just uncover a whole other layer of beauty, I feel. Yeah. And then around you with this renewal. Gosh, I love this, because this talks about some kind of partnership. Here's this thing of partnership coming up again. And partnership, spiritual union. So something, and that's a 2, and that's a 2. Something, and there's your Knight of Cups coming forward, that didn't work out in the past, but maybe because you are willing to look at what it is you want, even if it was not acceptable by society or by your standards or whatever, you are looking at it in a new light, and you're allowing it to give it a new lease on life, a new breath, a new outcome, a new partnership, like something that is based on something different. Like I was going to say equality, but it's not equality in the sense that you and I are the same. It's we respect each other equally, but we are so very different and we complement each other, that kind of thing. Whether it's a partnership, which I think it is, with the devil here, it can be a very passionate partnership, very lustful, which is beautiful, right? There's a chance for a real rebirth and reconciliation and a do-over is what I'm feeling. But it comes from you becoming more able to look within, more able to say, what is it I want and need? Who am I? And even that is so scary, but it's baby steps, is because you do have the tools to navigate that, and it's baby steps and it's simple things. Okay, and I will leave it there, group 1. I hope this has helped you. If it has, please share with me your experience of it, and give me a like and share and subscribe and all of that. And I'll chat with you again soon, and wishing you all the best for the year ahead, the new year, Chinese New Year, which is the year of the horse. All systems go, and the chariot is what it makes me think of. Bye. So welcome back, group 2. You've chosen, you chose the One World Tarot deck, and your card is Strength, and it's such a beautiful card. It's like being in solidarity with something or someone, or it feels like something like a cause, like a project, an organization. And it's taking your role seriously, and you are in harmony with the things that you are taking care of. Maybe there are lots of things, different moving parts that you have to keep and hold in balance, but you've got so much support around you. And it's unexpected, not unexpected, but it's not the usual suspects kind of support. And you have the ability to do whatever it is, this thing that you're doing. You also have the Hermit showing up as your central card, so, and in the reverse. And it talks about coming out. Maybe you have been working on something and now you're bringing it out. It's possible. Or you've been doing a lot of this inner work and now you are ready. It could be ready for a new job, for something new here. There's something new. With the Page of Wands, there might be a bit of fear on your part, but don't let fear get in your way. You've got the ability. I like that actually, because here's the Page of Wands beneath the deck with the wand in reverse, and there's the person standing upright and holding the wand. It's almost like you've graduated from Page. You've done the inner exploration it could be studies, right? You've been studying, and now you get a job, and you've got the ability. It might be your first job, or whatever this thing is. It might be something new, but you've grown beyond the Page. You've done what it takes, and now you're ready for the next level of your journey, group 2. Really beautiful. And here, let me just see what this one says. My first instinct is just to say, just from maybe it's a card of not being distracted from your goal. You know, like, don't celebrate before time, or don't speak too much before time, kind of thing, you know. I don't like to do that kind of caution, but that's what the card would suggest. But let me hold my counsel until I get the clarifiers, and we'll see what else is coming up there. But then around you, like working for you, is this beautiful Ace of Coins, suggesting a powerful new beginning. Like, whatever this is, look, I feel like you've withdrawn, whatever that means. It could be studying, not being in relationships, learning, doing a learnership or whatever, and now here's a new beginning, and this new beginning looks like it has something amazing to offer, especially in terms of finances. And I didn't intend to put the tiger's eye there, and there it is, right next to this coin, which suggests huge, solid offer. And then with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, you see there's this Ace of Wands, and this is representing you. There are these fears. Do I have what it takes? And you have what it takes, you know. I love that the Devil and Queen of Cups, just maybe this is about your emotions, is balancing your emotions, keeping your emotions in check, watching when you are destructive with your thoughts, and when you have unloving thoughts, and bring yourself back to love, you know. But there's also something very powerful about the Devil, about spurring you forward. But let's see. Yeah, so there's this caution about your fears, and look at this around you again as this Queen of Coins, something beautiful on offer, something coming in that offers you stability. And then oh, this should be upright. So this is, oh, look at this. Yeah. Oh, you know, I think that you mustn't worry, right? You might have fears, but you're moving to, you are being encouraged to be confident, to believe in yourself. This is this person, as the way I see it. This feels like this person, but this person is comfortable in their aloneness. You've come from a lone journey, and you're carrying on this lone journey, but with others. Do you know what I mean? You're still alone, but not lonely. You're alone, but you it's a level of independence and trust in that. It's like your sanctuary is this, whatever you did in this hermiting, what you learned, or the exercises you did, or whatever you learned in that withdrawal time, that whatever you leaned on. And this for me feels like nature. It feels like spirit. It's spiritual. It's something out there, no? That we are guided, you are guided to lean on, to withdraw to if you need to. It's like you are on a path that requires a lone journey, but that aloneness also requires that you know when to, you're alone. So let me just give an example. Like in a job, maybe you are taking on a leadership role, right? And that can be lonely, but it is also a lone journey. But you've got people to support you, and you've got maybe you had a coach, maybe it's spirit, maybe it's your spiritual path, maybe it's other tools that you have that you can withdraw back to, or the knowledge, what you learned in your studies or this internship or whatever it was. You can call on that you did what you needed to do, and you may second guess yourself, but the guidance is to not to worry. And you know, I feel like this is saying in a couple of months' time you will see this part of you emerging, how much more sure you are, because you're going to be learning on the job, whatever this is, learning on the job. It's like an adjustment. It feels like an adjustment. An adjustment. Let me just think about this. You've got two queens here. So this feels like an offer that comes in that gives you the sense of independence. You know, it could be a loan. Now you've done these studies. Now you've got a loan. You know, like maybe have just invested in a franchise. I don't know. It could be so many things. And so your journey is a lone one. It's but you have resources around you to support you. You have loyal friends and family. You have clients or whatever it might be, or you have the franchise people, whatever, you know. And you are growing. You are growing. You have moved on from this page. You might be in an in-between phase, but you're moving to this Queen of Wands. And maybe even the Queen of Coins, you know, like, I think what it is like an adjustment to get comfortable with having more, with having this, you know, like, let's just use the franchise as an, like an example, an analogy maybe even. Doing that might test you, right? It will test you. It will test your courage. It will test your finances. And yet at the same time, it's bringing you in a lot of courage and finances, which is maybe the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Coins. Likewise, it is yours and yours alone. It's your journey alone. But you can also draw on others as you need to. I think it could also even suggest delegation, that you've got a trusted team around you that you can delegate to, and that you can draw on for strength and support and talk to, you know. Sometimes all we need is a chat. So do that. Okay, I'm going to put that there because I wasn't sure of it, not just because it's a negative card. I mean, it all looks like, because this is in your advice, right? So I think this is a reminder to look at this financial and material changes, and it's in the upright. But the Five of Coins can feel like being the outsider. And what it talks to here, I feel, is that you did withdraw. You withdrew to study. You withdrew. You gave up things. You sacrificed a whole lot. And it's leading to a huge change in finances. And with the Ten of Cups, you have recognition and reward. So this, for me, is a guidance to not look outside yourself for. You've got to shower yourself with praise. It might come from outside. I'm not saying it won't, but I think that you're being guided to shower yourself with praise, and maybe you haven't been praised enough for the hard work you've done. And I think you need to be doing that. You know, I'm working on my cards, and the one card that keeps showing up, and I've already got the image that's shown up for me, and it's this. And the thing is, cut yourself some slack. The message is, cut yourself some slack. So that's maybe what you need to do. Maybe you're very hard on yourself and you still think you're a page. No, you've moved on. You have moved on, you know. You've grown from that in this area. We all need to be a page in some area, no matter how old we are. Like, we learn until we die, and that's the beauty of life, right? But in this, you have moved on, you've graduated. So keep reminding yourself about that. And with the Ace of Coins, be open about all the offers that come in. Be open and take breaks, take time out. Don't, you know, like starting your own venture can be really taxing. You need to find ways of just taking time out and looking after yourself. And with the Ace of Wands, here's this guidance again. This is you being hard on yourself. And reminded to be so self-loving, okay? Group 2. You have to be open heart chakra, but that it's aimed at yourself. Your month ahead, or this Pisces, the intention was to do this for the new year, the year of the horse. So yeah, there's this huge shift. I almost forgot about that because I started the one and then I had to come back later today. There's this huge shift for you. That's what this year of the horse, the fire horse, is bringing for you. It feels like this huge shift. You've put in the work and you're going to see these huge shifts for yourself. And these are both Capricorn represented. You might have a Capricorn offering you something. And there's something about you becoming more comfortable with the devil in you, with the dark side of you, with the side that is usually seen by you as, or society, or you've been told is bad, but it's not bad. There's something, whatever that is for you, and it might have to do with finances, that you are having to confront, that is actually, it's just there for you to embrace that part of you. Yeah. And then with there's some beautiful, beautiful joy coming in. And I think that you are being guided to be joyful, to enjoy, this with the discontentment and boredom here. It can be that you, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, I think is the saying. I can't remember now, but yeah, it is that. So there's a need for you to find those moments of rest, those moments of joy, those moments of time out, and cutting yourself some slack and just being joyful, just enjoying, instead of saying, oh my goodness, how did I do this? How did I get here? And I think there's something about the critic. What will society think? What will my family think? What will whoever think? And that's the voice that you're kind of being guided to temper. That's part of it. But it's your voice as well. Where are you saying that whatever you're doing is wrong? And where does that come from? That is your guidance. That is the thing that you need to be looking out for, I feel. Because I do feel grouped to whatever you're doing, this is your path. This is your path. This is what you have wanted and been guided to, and you followed your guidance. And so, yes, we second guess yourself. You can't stop yourself, right? It's just a feeling. But when you do, check yourself and ask yourself those questions. Where's this coming from? Or just go and journal about it, But you're needing to cut yourself some slack, do joyful things, celebrate rather than castigate is what, if I had to name your reading, I would say it's about celebrating rather than castigating. And it might be that you are, like if you're put in a leadership position, you're more exposed, right? And you've got to learn. There might be things that people say, people can, it's life, people can turn on you, or there can be jealousy and whatever. And I'm not saying that that's what is happening with you. But what I'm saying is this can, so if you're a leader and now you have to be more firm about things, maybe you were the jokey one or whatever, you don't have to stop being that. But there, you are called on to be different or appear differently. You have to lead, and you can be a benevolent leader. You can be one that is democratic and whatever. But you're still in a leadership position, and it might require some unpopular decisions. And that's where this devil comes in, where you need to check when you say that is wrong, or oh my goodness, that's not me, or whatever. There's something like that. Just see how it fits in your situation. There's this issue of embracing that part that you feel or have been told is not you, or it's wrong. And asking yourself if it is, because if it is, then you've got to do something about it. But if it's not, and you've got to ask yourself if it is and where that comes from, so that you can nip it at the source and continue to cut yourself some slack. And here your advice is to, this is you standing strong. even as the wheels turn, right, there's a lot of change going on, and you are called on to manage all that change, even if some of it looks ugly, even if some of it makes you feel bad, or it's not you being ugly, it's you knowing that you have the strength, or drawing on your inner reserves and your outer reserves and what you've learned and whatever guided you here to combat this, whatever feels wrong, or even if it's your own inner voice. And that's the hardest. It's the own inner voice, right? And I'm going to leave it there. It got a bit deep. I hope that it's read your story group too, and I hope that it's helped you. And yeah, if it has, please won't you give me your feedback and give me a like and share with others, and I'll chat with you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. You beneath the deck you have the listen card, which is like it is the High Priestess in reverse, and you have the Wheel of Life, which is like the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. This deck is it says it's a tarot deck, and it's very beautiful, but I don't use it as a tarot deck. So this would be the Hanged Man. Number 12 is the Hanged Man in the tarot, but this very much like the Wheel of Fortune. It's like going with the cycles of life, you know, spring, summer, spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring, summer. Oh, I'm being silly now. Yeah. So it's like going with the cycles of life. You have the Empress at the center. So something to do with the divine feminine within you needing healing. This is a 3 and that's a 3. Perhaps, you know, I would say the first thing that came to me was something that maybe has looked not good is better than you think, you know, that within all this pain, this healing, whatever, there's so much growth, because you have the dreams come true card there. You have the High Priestess. You maybe your guidance, because there's so much shifting for you, and we're talking about the year of the fire horse, right? There's so much is shifting for you. You do need to find space for meditation, for listening, however you listen, whether that's journaling or walking, but you need time for yourself, you know. Maybe that's simply it. You need time for yourself, group 3. Choose your battles, and that's in what you need to look out for. Yeah, not everything is a fight. Not everything is a fight, right? Maybe you have been in this fight mode for so long, fight or flight mode. In certain situations you run, now others you just fight. You need to find the balance. And I think it comes back to this nurturing the divine feminine within. Whoever you are, there's your divine feminine, your creative side, your nurturing side is being asked, you're being called on to give it a bit more attention. Okay. So, sorry, I had to check a message. Let's see. Ugh. You know, this thing doesn't hold well. Okay, that's better. Okay. So, yeah. And here it's the healing of the divine feminine within. So I think that your focus is on that healing. I need to think about what that could look like for you. Like, you know, for each of us, that's a different, it's been a different path. Let's see. is where have you stifled that beautiful feminine side of you? Perhaps you've taught yourself to be hard and in certain situations, or you've overgiven in certain situations. There's your guidance is around balancing that divine feminine. You have and maybe your thing is around communication, but there is a lot of growth here. Can you see how fruitful that is? You're going through the cycle of growth, and I think that your stability lies in, and these are both eights, by the way, in just turning that focus inward. What does my divine feminine need now? What is my divine feminine? If I were to tune into my divine feminine, what would it say to me? And then around you is helpless and hopeless in the reverse. So you're, whatever obstacles were there, things are shifting for you. Things are shifting. And, with this challenging times, this is guidance. It's not what's going on for you. I feel like you are shifting from something that might have been difficult, and you're moving to something really beautiful here with the Nine of Cups. And perhaps that's another thing, is that you're being asked, what is it that makes me happy? Then this feels like a very feminine card. It feels like that's what, if your divine feminine was happy, it would be the Nine of Cups. So what is my fulfillment? What is my not having to worry? What is my cups running over, Group 1 also got the Hermit there in the reverse. It's like coming out of a time, for you, I feel you're coming out of a time where you felt you had to have your guard up, and so you had maybe a hyperactive divine masculine. So you constantly have felt like you've had to fight, and there's the, for everything. Very nice. Wow. That was beneath the deck, and I shuffled, and you've got recognition and reward. Beautiful. So you I think Group 3, you've had to fight a lot for whatever you felt that it's been a constant battle. 3, 3, 3, and I feel like that's shifting for you. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, and you've got the Wheel of Life there. You're coming out of this place of maybe sadness and emotional aloneness. You're really shifting from that, and just remember that, remember that you've moved on from there. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, with the memories of love here, you can, because you're so accustomed to it, you might default. So just watch yourself, that you don't, yes, our different aspects of ourselves serve ourselves, but where you've been too in your divine masculine, just caution against that, because I feel like what's required of you, and especially towards yourself and towards your healing, is this divine feminine. So the divine masculine might show up as shouting down, communicating roughly, even to yourself, and the divine feminine might take a pause. Okay, what is it you need? What do you want to get out of this? Including to yourself, right? So there's a lot of healing, and it requires like a change of focus. Isn't it interesting? This is the Hanged Man, and I was talking about the Hanged Man. So whatever's going on, it requires of you to shift your focus, really, and it's shifting your focus from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. I think that's a beautiful thing for you to work on. And here it says movement, choices, decisions. So there's a lot of movement here. Things are ripe. Things are ripe for the taking. There's growth. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth here. And there's this shift from this helpless and hopeless to knowing. And I feel like if you, even when you have to make decisions, because there's a lot of change going on for you, and I suspect that the year is going to be like that for you, just step back and withdraw into the divine feminine and ask, okay, what would my divine feminine do now? Okay, that's tongue-in-cheek, but yes. And look at this, material harvest. So, you know, earlier I said what looked like a negative thing is in fact positive. It's whatever you've been through, there's a huge shift. It's almost like the opposite. So you put in the work, and gosh, the messages are lovely. You are seeing the rewards. This talks about harvest, that talks about harvest, that talks about change. That's recognition and reward. That's shifting. And this, firm foundations. Wow. So you might, I would love to hear if this happens for you, group 3, because I'm not psychic. But what this would suggest to me is that you are getting more than you bargained for. You're getting emotional fulfillment as well as financial, creating something very solid is what I see. Okay, group 3, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has read your story and helped you in some way. And if it has, please won't you give me feedback and give me a like and share and subscribe. And I'll chat with you again soon. Bye.